on you.
All right. Well, good morning. I am Felicia Ridgway, and I am the program case manager, office manager for Pathway to Employment's GED program located here at Dearborn YMCA at 321 North Warren Street here in Mobile. Today, we will have a couple of our former students here on an interview session with Mr. Reggie Hill, who is one of our counselors and mentors for our students. I do want to introduce or present to some and introduce to others our staff, who is Diana Everett. She is the director and has been over our program since 2014. We have three staff members who are counselors, Patricia Hall, who is our vocational counselor, Daniel Mensa, who is the GED math and science teacher, and Shirley Gosby, who teaches social studies and reading and language arts for our students. Just a little bit about our program. We are here for individuals 16 to 24 years of age who have dropped out of school and need a GED or a high school diploma. We do offer now the James Madison program, which is online. It's an online program where you can receive your diploma if you've completed 11th or 12th grade, and you can take that online as also part of our services. We offer vocational training where you can receive certification in certain areas in the medical field, like CNA, phlebotomy, EKG, and did I leave one off? CMA, medical assistant. You can also take part in our cosmetology program where you can become a shampoo tech and or work in the barbering field. We offer those, and we will gladly get you set up in any of those fields. But mainly with our GED program is for, like I said, students 16 to 24 years of age. We would love for you to come down, fill out a simple application. All you need is your ID and a social security card, and come in and interview with us, and we'll be glad to have you. But right now, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Hill, who, like I said, is our counselor and mentor to our students, and they're going to speak a little bit about our program and hopefully influence a lot of you to come in and work with us, because we'd be glad to have you. All right?
Thank you so much, Ms. Ridgway, for that amazing introduction and overview of this great program. As she mentioned, my name is Reggie Hill. I'm the founder, executive director of Success for the Future. We work with at-risk youth. We do behavior intervention and character development. Another hat that I'm proud to wear, I'm also a member of the board of directors here at the Dearborn YMCA, where we have the Pathway to Employment program. So I bring you greetings on behalf of our board president, Mr. Nathaniel Patterson, as well as our CEO, Ms. Colette Huff. And it's such an exciting moment to be here with these young people who are doing amazing things out here in the community. And so we're going to allow you to hear about their stories, as well as something that I believe will inspire you to further creating your own story, because that's what this is all about. The idea of this Pathway to Employment notion respects that it's a journey, it's a process, it's a collective journey and process as well. This is a family-oriented group, and I want you to see and hear from their own experiences, and hopefully it'll help you become a better person yourself. So we're going to dive right into this. I have the pleasure of interviewing these young people right here. So what I want you to do first is just tell us your name and a little bit about yourself, and then I'll get into the questions. So we'll start with you.
Cool. My name is Fernisha Jackson. I go by Missy. I am 23 years old. I came out of school in the 4th grade, so that was a big challenge. But coming here to the program, it really helped me a lot, having hands-on, and also, you know, outside of schooling too. It helped me develop a greater mental thinking. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Beautiful. Okay, well, we're glad to have you here today.
I'm glad to be here.
Welcome back.
Glad to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Trenton Walker. I'm 18 years old. I came to the GED class for personal reasons due to a child at the early age of 17. But we counted it our blessings because I've come here and found another family away from home.
Excellent. A family away from home and expanding that mind and ability to go forward. So let me just dive right here. Cause see, me personally, I'm an advocate for public schooling. I went through public schooling, and at a point in my life, I would fight directly just for public school. I felt that was the only way to do it. We have taxpayer dollars that go into this, so this is our money that's being invested into this. So we should be able to produce.
Right.
But as I got older and more mature, I realized that it's not a cookie cutter approach to this thing of life. You know, everybody has different experiences, but yet we should still seek the best results. So kind of weigh the experiences for our listeners and people who are seeing as to why this would be a best outlet if they feel the traditional schooling system might not be best for them.
Well, for a lot of people, the schooling might not be for them, and also too, particularly this year we've been going through COVID, so a lot of parents are really afraid to send their kids back to school because when school starts back, that's just a thing that people are always just like, oh, school starting back, kids get sick when school starts back. So, it's a precaution for many reasons. It could be peer pressure that their children could be facing at school, and they might just not learn great being around so many different people, and such big personalities in classrooms can drown certain people who might need extra attention, so that could be a result of people not actually wanting to participate in public schooling, or, people not wanting to send their kids back. And I completely understand that, especially with the COVID going on now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything
Definitely. She really she hit the nail on the head, man. With everything that's going on, is definitely it can definitely be a better choice, to actually, withdraw, just as a safety precaution. But another thing is people downgrade, the GED and all of that.
Right.
But there's no you're gonna make it here and not make it here.
Right.
Because it's all the same. We're all getting the same education.
Right.
We're all getting the same education. We're all getting the same learning. There is no big eyes and little U's.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
So let's look at the education piece, because it's interesting you brought the point of how people attempt to look at obtaining a GED.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned over time too. It's unfortunate. It's usually not what you know anyway. It's normally who you know that leads you to a direct pathway to what you want to do.
Very true.
So I want you to compare the scope of work. Like for those who may be saying, okay, I'm not learning the best in a traditional setting. I need an opportunity to have that direct attention, like you mentioned. So kind of compare the idea of the learning styles from what you may have experienced in a traditional school setting and what you would get with the Pathway to Employment program.
I'll let you go first with the public school.
Okay, with public school, you want to know the comparison. Could you explain the question again?
Yeah, like say, okay, there's a certain style, you have a certain criteria to meet with public school, certain scheduling, certain division of the classes. And so compare that to what you would gain here in the quest to obtain, your GED.
Well, minus all of the more in school, in public school, you're in a very more strict environment, of course. With the GED, you don't really, for instance, the uniform. You don't have to wake up and worry about, a uniform.
Right.
You can freely just, put on what you want to wear.
Right.
You come in here just as comfortable
as you are.
For school, to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I've always kind of, didn't like was a uniform.
Yeah.
I never liked. So with that just being an example, that's one of the things.
Yeah.
And so with the schedule, school, you have to be there early, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
With the GED, what is it? What time did we have to be?
4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You're here for 4
day.
hours. You're here for 4 hours getting the same education.
Yeah.
With the same learning, the same 2 + 2 is always 4 everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're learning the same thing here
Yeah.
and the same thing in public school.
Okay. Do you have something to add?
Mine was a little different
Okay.
because when I came out in the 4th grade, I was homeschooled.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so just I didn't actually I went to public school, but I didn't make it to 5th grade where you were like changing blocks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, you know, I didn't actually have that experience, but getting my GED, having the safeguard of not being around so many personalities, I do feel like saved me a lot and may have made me a lot different, especially as I, you know, start to associate with other people, you know what I mean? Because for years I'm at home by myself, you know, and my family, which is my sister and my mom, that was it, my dad, you know, so, you know, and they're working people. So being at the house alone, you know, trying to teach yourself certain things, it's a difficult path. And then also not having a companion, you know, that's your age to confide in, or somebody to just be like, yeah, I understand this, so this is how it's supposed to go, you know? So getting my GED was more in depth, you know, like I went to a program and everybody was older than me, you know, and they were more advanced. They just came out of school, you know, and they were like, they have kids, so their kids are going through this stuff. They can help them. You know, I was just kind of like going through life and just picking stuff up, you know, as I went. So coming to the program with such hands-on interaction and like people who are interested in you, not just you know, your life, but also you getting your GED and you being successful afterwards. That was just, I mean, not saying that public school doesn't offer that, but it's so many kids in public school, you know, it's kind of hard to offer it to every single person the way that they need it.
Absolutely. You had something to add? Go ahead.
Yes, if I may add, another thing that I got here that I never have and never did experience in public school is the support.
Yeah.
I had very much support here. Like this is my family away from home.
Yeah.
I came here and I had to take a test and there was no like you got this. There was no doubt about it, and nobody said, you know, you got this for a fact. You're gonna come home. I mean, you're gonna come back, and you're gonna give good news. You're gonna give good news.
And both of y'all actually just led. We call it a segue in this industry here.
Okay.
You both just created this segue into this. Kind of explain this because, excuse me, people particularly in high poverty and underserved areas. The expectations are very low for you. They only believe that you're going to amount to certain things. You're only going to be able to go forth and make these level of accomplishments. Right. Can you kind of talk on the level of expectation that you were given when you became a part of this program? You mentioned about the support system. You mentioned about having that tight-knit group of instruction. So compare all of that to what your instructors, mentors, staff members here, and anyone that they allowed to just be a part of the conversation. What was the level of expectations for you all as participants in the program?
On a personal level, family, or you talk?
Well, here, and this is an extended family. So,
Definitely.
So you know,
coming into the program, expectations were high. Are you more specifically? Are you talking about others' expectation for me myself?
Well, for yourself in general, like you have like Ms. Ridgway was just here. She mentioned Ms. Everett, Ms. Hall, Mr. Minson, Ms. Goldsby. These people, I come in at times was doing mentoring sessions. Then we have a full staff here as well. Right. So you know, kind of explain what that level of expectation was from us for you all.
Oh, definitely, it was very high. Very high, through the roof. You all really supported us in a way that I can't even imagine. Right. I don't get that support from family. Right. You know, if I can, you know, that much support. I get support from family. Yeah. But the level of support that I get here is next level. Yeah. And from the bottom of my heart, wholeheartedly, I do want to say thank you.
Oh man, we thankful for y'all. You know, y'all add to us, and that's one of the things that I want, and I want you to make it point too. But that's one of the things that I think a lot of people miss from the instruction point. Y'all don't understand how much y'all add value to our lives. Right. You know, y'all don't understand how much y'all challenge us to be better. Right. Because if we're ultimately in this for the right reasons, we want y'all to be best. Right. You know, and it takes you all not only buying in, but having a worth and self-value for yourself that
Right.
says, hey, I'm going to contribute, my part to get this done. So that expectation piece, flows both ways. Yeah, share what you feel about the level of expectations coming in.
Well, I had the same confusion, so I'm just gonna share like my expectations and what I felt like others' expectations was too. Like when I first came in, I didn't have high expectations because I was trying to pursue my GED for 6 years before I actually got it. And it was just hard because coming from homeschool, teaching yourself, it was just hard trying to hear someone else explain it to me, and I'm just like, none of that makes sense. And then having a big classroom setting that they're explaining, just a general explanation, I didn't really, it was just hard. So for those 6 years, I really didn't have high expectations coming into the program until I met Ridgeway and talked to her. Like I communicated with her over the phone, filled out my application, okay, boom. But then once I actually sat down and realized, like, she actually might not just see me as a student. She actually might know my name. And she might actually like me, She might actually have expectations and she might feel like I'm gonna succeed. So she made me, like, that really pushed me too. And like Trent said, like, meeting other kids here, like, we were all young adults, so meeting the other young adults, like, I mean, it was just the expectations that they had for me, the expectation that I had for them. It was like all of us just fed off one another. And my expectations were met, like they were exceeded, because I never thought that I would gain this much family, that I would gain this much knowledge, that people would have such hope in you that you didn't even have in yourself.
True. That's real.
And that was top of the line.
And don't ever feel too old to say the kids part.
Right.
Y'all always be kids to us.
Right.
Regardless of how old you get, y'all always be kids to us. And we always treat y'all that way. Now, all right, so this generation, they got the piece about period, keep it 100, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
All right, so we can't just give them all of the hoorah, So let's talk about what are some of the hardships towards getting your GED. What are some of the obstacles that you have to face, the challenges that come about throughout the process, and to culminate that, how did you overcome those challenges, those obstacles and hurdles to be here in this position now? You're sitting here as accomplished young adults who are ready to take on the world, do powerful things. But a lot of people, they only see the end result.
Right.
They only see the outside. They see the wrapping.
Right.
They don't necessarily see all that went into it.
Right.
So kind of break down some of those things that you felt were difficult as you were working towards obtaining your GED.
Well, I was homeless for one, but I don't know if anyone knew that here at the program. It didn't really affect me because that was my decision. For 6 years, I was trying to work and obtain my GED, and that was the hardest thing for me because, like when you're on your own, you have to have a full-time job, and then full-time jobs are only in the daytime, So in my mind, it was just so much, but I still just worked with it because, you gotta, if you want something, you have to give your all to it.
That's right.
So dealing with that, and also not knowing how many other individuals would be in the program. That was, in my mind, I was thinking, GED, pathway to employment, it's probably just gonna be a one-on-one, maybe 3 or 4 people in there. But having so many people around me was a slight distraction because I love people.
Wow.
Meaning, like, I like to know what's going on with you because I want to help you. I need to find out what's going on with you so I can find out what you need and I can get it for you,
Absolutely.
But that could be a distraction because we have a reason for coming to the program. It's to get your GED, and getting involved with people. When you're in an environment, you have to stay in touch with your teacher so they can bring you back, and let you know, okay, you're here for a certain time. This isn't high school, so you can't just parlay. You have to make sure that your game is, that what your goal is in front of you at all times. You don't want to step on the side of it. You don't want to step behind it or go too far in front of it. You want to make sure that you are slow enough and more focused enough to fulfill the reason for coming. You don't want to just sign up for the program and then it's a great experience, the people you meet.
Right.
But fulfilling the program, getting to the end of the program, finishing it, it's just gonna add so much more to you, and that's a better story than saying, I tried, but I tried and succeeded. It's hard, being around a lot of people, you'll get caught up, but you have to make sure that the focus is to come into the program, finish the program, so you can be better and help other people.
And you would hope that in the midst of having to interact and engage with all those people, y'all would sort of motivate each other.
Right.
You know, and then when you see one slipping, you do your best to lift,
Right,
lift
and
them up
I
as
feel
well.
like we kind of did that.
Yeah.
I feel like we did that, but being a young adult too, in the areas that we're in, when you come to a program like this, before COVID, you know, these were people, well, I was one of those people, we kind of didn't have choices. You know what I'm saying? We were just in situations, so there were other things going on outside of school.
Yeah.
You know, and then having someone come into school and seeing that this person cares for me and I don't have anybody to talk to outside of school, so, you know, you lose sight of what you're really there for.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. Then I want to get your input on this question about those hardships. I often tell when I'm doing professional sessions with educators, I let them know your classroom experience starts right after the dismissal bell. And a lot of times they look like, well, what are you talking about? Well, once school ends, people go into all of these other experiences in their life, and then they bring that into the classroom the very next day.
Right.
And so you're unaware of that. You're not going to have any
Right.
control of that room, or you're not going to be able to pinpoint and identify
Right.
what someone might be going through. And it's totally necessary. And we have to, in time, accept that responsibility that we have for each other as well.
Right.
So I really appreciate that, what you're saying. So Trent, tell us, what do you feel about those hardships and getting past them?
Well, the hardships they're there, and you can't let them stop you though. But my hardships, like I said, I had a child at an early age, and not having a vehicle, trying to, having to get around. It was hard, and trying to get to the GED, trying to get here was also a hardship. But I didn't let it stop me. It took the bus every morning, and I got here, But what I did to overcome that was as hard as it was, I talked to the ones that I had around me, like Miss Ridgway, Miss Everett, and they uplifted me when I felt like I was down.
Yeah.
And when I did pass a test, when I felt like I, didn't have it, they were more excited for me than I was for my own self.
Yeah.
And so it made me feel like, hey man, I want to do this again. I want to have that same good feeling again. I want them to be proud of me.
Yeah.
So I stay prayed up and I do it again, and I stay motivated and just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Absolutely. And I like how you mentioned the staying prayed up part. We definitely have to do this. And just in consistency with the program, with the YMCA, it is a Christian-based organization. So we encourage people to dive deeper into their faith as a part of getting to the course of their journey as well. So we're getting close to the to wrapping this up. It's been an amazing conversation. I've actually enjoyed speaking with you. I hope we can come back and do this again. Maybe talk about some other topics that are going on in society. I'd just like to have y'all's perspective on this. But you mentioned something earlier about completing the task and getting finished with your GED, and that's kind of what I wanted to get to on this portion of the conversation.
Right.
We have stepping stones in life, all right? You go through one phase of something to get to the next, all right? You go through that phase of something to complete some objective, and you complete the objective normally so that you can start something else.
Right.
So when you come here, this is only a stepping stone.
Right.
A lot of people who may not finish the traditional style of schooling think that life is over. Life is done.
Right.
I'm just gonna have to find a job that I can maybe maintain and hope for the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas completing this project, it actually gives you another door opener to pursue whatever those goals and aspirations may be.
Yep.
So take this time to kind of express what it is that you want to use this platform for, and where you see yourself going, because now that you have these credentials, because again, like I mentioned before, not necessarily what you know, more so who you know.
Right.
So with these credentials, you now can put yourself in different conversations with other people. And then, and let me make this clear on this what you know piece. The idea is the same way that we come to this table, whatever table you sit at, you're supposed to be able to contribute to it. We're supposed to be appreciative that you're here with us. You're not adding to the feast. You know what I'm saying? We're not just here with our spoons and plates out, just seeking something. We're using our individual gifts, individual abilities. Y'all remember before, I would always talk about, no one born before or after you can complete your task.
Right.
And if you don't do it, it doesn't just hinder yourself, it hinders all of us as well.
Right.
Because we're just minute pieces of this puzzle. So kind of break down to the people, so maybe you can inspire our viewers and listeners. What are your aspirations? What are you planning on doing now that you have your credentials and now that you're on the pathway to your own means of success?
Well, I want to set an example for my siblings, for people who I do know and people who I don't know.
Okay.
Because, we don't have many examples as young African American women to look up to,
Wow.
Except the ones that we know.
Yeah.
We might have celebrities, but we don't know them,
Yeah.
I don't know you. I need to know you.
Yeah.
I like Cardi B. I like Nicki Minaj, but I don't know them.
Okay.
I can relate to them and what they tell me. But I don't know them. I don't know if they've been through what I've been through.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I've been through a lot at the age of 23, and the only thing that I've ever told myself is that this is a story that you're going to be able to help someone not go through what you went through.
Yeah, there we go.
And then sometimes as adults, like as young women, let me start, we might feel like our parents may not have equipped us with the right knowledge, so now we're just out here, But also as individuals, we have that own responsibility to try to upgrade ourselves, and sometimes our circles might not be big enough to keep reminding us of that. Or our environment might not be, it might not be the environment that is producing success. That could be a reason that people are looking like they're not going to do anything because of the environment that they're in.
Yeah.
But if we
talked about it.
we have someone that's comfortable with stepping into that environment, like myself, I'll put myself in any environment to help someone.
Yeah.
So if we have someone that's comfortable with stepping into that environment and letting this person know that this is not all it is, and showing those people, a lot of people don't know what they can accomplish until they've seen someone else that they know do it.
That's right.
So I want to just be an example for people. I want to be able to let people know if they have questions on how are you supposed to get a house, I want to be able to let them know.
Yeah.
How do you apply for an apartment? I'll let you know.
That's
You know
good.
what I mean? I just want to be an example, and everything that I went through, I know that, God only puts his strongest soldiers through stuff.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't put you through it just so you could just be strong. He puts you through it so you can make other strong individuals. And you can encourage other people that you are not alone. The things that you're going through, someone else is going, even if I didn't go through particularly what that person, woman, man, whatever it is going through, just to let someone else know that whatever it is that you're going through, it can be fixed.
Yeah.
It can be fixed, it can.
That's good. Yes, he does give his toughest test to his strongest soldiers.
Right.
And that's something I always profess myself to. I like that. And it's interesting because what I believe happened between the generations, particularly like me, I'm 34. So the people who came before me, we didn't necessarily get a true understanding of what this society actually is about. When we were in school, we didn't learn the mechanisms to survive even.
Right.
We were just told, get a job and be successful. It was never anything that pushed us towards our gifts, but primarily what was going to happen to those after us, And that's the piece that I really want us to be focused on. Those who are not even born yet, those who are very young in age, we have responsibilities for each of them.
Right.
So I like that. That's something y'all need to remember now. He gives his toughest test to the strongest soldier. So if you're going through some hardship, that only means he believes you can deal with it.
Right.
And that's something serious. So what you got, Trent?
Could you repeat the question?
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, fine. I just want to know, with your credentials now, what are your aspirations? What are you going towards now? What are your goals now that you have this under your belt? Where do you see yourself going as you move forward?
All right. Well, first of all, I want to, minus the occupation, I want to first of all motivate people, and that's number one, because it's not about where you come from. I wanna make that point. It's not about where you come from, because the savior of the world came from nowhere. He came from I believe it was Nazareth. The Bible says that. Does anything good come out of Nazareth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesus came from Nazareth, but he's the greatest savior of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not about where you come from, but It's about where you're going.
Yeah.
And you can't let your present suffering
Yeah.
dictate your future glory. And and I can say that because I've been through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can motivate people. But moving on to the occupation part, through the process, I wanna go into phlebotomy, you know, because they, you know, the YMCA offers going into the medical field. You can go into the medical field. They can help you and all of that. And so that's what I want to move forward to.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Okay, so I got to do a plug for Pathway, and then I'll close out with my last little portion. So for each of you that are thinking about it, as Miss Ridgway I mentioned before, this is for young people ages 16 to 24. You may have dropped out of school, or you just need your GED, you have issues with finishing graduation, or you may simply feel that the environment in your traditional setting is not fitting or conducive to what you want to do and who you want to become. So if you're between those ages of 16 and 24, this is definitely the place that you want to be. There are also these opportunities for our qualified applicants. It's $10 per day that you're here in attendance. You're paid bi-weekly. If you have youngins, you have free daycare to dependents ages 6 weeks to 4 years old. We do have bus pass, transportation. You get preparation for your classes, work readiness trainers, awesome opportunities for internships. You have the chance to go out and work in the fields that you want to be a part of. So this is like the go-to opportunity for you. And there are other program incentives. You might be forced to have conversations that pick your brain with people like me, but I promise you it's going to be worthwhile. You might even have to tape your ankles, you know, if you're an athlete, get out there on the court, because we are some hoopers up here. So all the things that you think you want to do, this is the place that is here for you to do them. So feel free to come up to Dearborn YMCA. We're located at 321 North Warren Street. If you're familiar with either Callaway Smith Middle School or the Health Department, Bishop State Community College, we're a throw of a stone, away from each of those places. So it's not hard to find at all right here in this historic downtown area. So as we're closing, it's always uplifting to me to see our young people come back, share these amazing stories about what they're doing, how they're becoming better. It makes us feel, even on our worst of days, that there was something positive that was done.
Yep.
And so even though y'all are seeking to get to this place of where you're having that influence, more than you know, you're already directing and encouraging people to become and be their best. There are more people watching y'all than you would anticipate. And there are more people who are appreciative and striving to be better simply because of the example that you're setting. So I kind of want to leave this portion as we close as an open, just where you can share whatever you feel is best to reach our audience, whatever you feel that they need to know about getting the GED, about this particular program, about what you do after the GED, and any just life seeds that you want to plant right now. If y'all remember, we did one lesson that we looked at how large the trees are, all right? And regardless of how large they are, they all started as one little seed. So that's whether it's your conversations, your relationships, your work ethic, your emotions, whatever it is the task at hand, whatever the seed that you plant, it's going to blossom into something. That can be to your benefit, or it can be something to hinder you. So with this last little segment of our conversation, which I have thoroughly enjoyed, I just want y'all to share whatever you feel is best for our listeners and our viewers.
Don't give up. That's number one. Don't give up. And on the journey, do what's right. And right is gonna follow you.
Right.
Plant a good seed, like he said, plant a good seed. Plant a good seed and watch it grow.
Yeah.
If you plant a good seed and watch it, just watch it. Because you think about it, you plant one seed, produces one tree, but it produces many apples, many fruit.
Yeah.
And in that fruit is many more seeds.
Yeah.
So produce that seed, plant that good seed, and watch it grow.
That's good, young man.
one thing that motivated me growing up for a really long time, and it's changing now, is money. Money has always motivated me to do what I need to get done, because you know that's the main thing. Like, you just need money to do stuff. So that's really what caught my interest. 6 years went by, and I was just like, I'm not getting a GED. It's just not gonna happen for me. I'm just gonna work it out how I'm working it out. I capped out at where I was working at, and I couldn't go further because I didn't have a GED, so I could be going to school for business and be the manager at the office. You know. So I felt like, you know, it is what it is. I just gotta get money. But for a program to pay you to succeed, you've gotta know. And then for two people to say that the program is not a joke, like it's no cap. It's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds far-fetched that someone is paying you to do what's right, to get your education, to be successful in life. That just, I mean, when I heard it on the radio, I just figured like that's why my expectations weren't that high for the program, because I was like, well, if they're paying me, the program's probably poopy, because you're paying me to come there. But I'm paying you because I need to see you succeed. We need more people. I need another seed. So I'm gonna pay you to be a seed. I'm gonna pay you to be one of my good seeds. Come over here. Let me pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is better than someone telling you, I'm gonna pay you to be the best you could be? If someone told me that, like straight up, I'm going. That's why I came. I heard it on the radio. They said they would pay me. I was like, it is what it is. I don't care how much it is. I'm quitting my job. I quit my job.
Wow.
I didn't know. I already didn't have a place to stay, you know, so it was not that big a deal. I didn't have rent to pay, so it's not that big. I'm just gonna, this is what I've been waiting for 6.5 years. And this is what's been hindering me, so I'm just gonna drop everything and do it. I dropped everything, I came here and I did it. And in that time, the money that they're giving you is for you to get by. It's not for you to live off of for the rest of your life, you know? It's for you to get by while you're in the program. It's an incentive to let you know, like, this check could be getting bigger and bigger if you stick to the program. That's just it. You just and the opportunities that I got being in the program, I mean, there's nowhere else that I could have gone and got these same opportunities. There is nowhere else that I could have gone and met the great people that I have today. I have a lot of little sisters from this program that I'm working for, and they don't know I'm working for them, but I am. You know, because I know that all the people who I was around, and my energy is something I take very serious.
Yes.
But if he put me in the room with someone, you know, he's making me share that energy. This was something that I was supposed to be doing. You know, I'm here and I was sharing energy and receiving energy from people that it's never left. Their energy hasn't left me, and I hope mine, you know, was a good energy and it never left them. But like Trent said, the family environment that you do create, we're all like-minded individuals, meaning we're all trying to do better, and that's an environment that you want to surround yourself with. You know, we're all pretty much on the same level. Like, some of us may have came here with a few more tests completed than the other, but we all came here like, yo, I don't know either. You know, we all was looking at each other like, oh, what that is, I don't know. Why is he putting letters and numbers in the same sentence? What's happening? You know, but we're all in a sense on the same level. There's no scholar. There's no person like, yeah, you might be better. Trent was better in math than me. Math was my worst subject, and I was very fearful of it. I was very afraid of it.
Wow.
Trent helped me with my math, and another counselor, she actually told me one day, you're going to go do your test tomorrow. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do my test tomorrow because I'm going to fail. I actually passed my test. So having someone who has faith in you, this is a whole staff. Like, if you don't meet one person that's going to have interest in you, this person's got an interest in you. If you don't meet that person that has something of a background that you can relate to, you're going to meet another person that has that type of background that you can relate to, or another background that enlightens you to do more. It's just an opportunity, an endless opportunity. That's really what it is. It's like you're opening the door to so much. You just have to continue to walk through it. You can't just stand at the door because you're afraid. You're not sure about the math thing. You're not sure about the reading. You don't like words. They're too long. They're blurry. You have to walk through the door because that's a part of him helping you. You know, he's already giving you the door, opening it up for you, you know, so you just got to walk through it.
Yes, indeed.
And they're paying you to walk through it.
Yes, indeed.
And if I may say my last thing, though, if you want to experience love, love is here in this place. And one thing about it, I've learned that God is love.
Yeah, definitely.
And so where God is, love is. Definitely. And love is here. So God is here. God is here.
That's good, man. Y'all have uplifted my spirits, reminded me exactly why it is that I believe anyone who calls himself an education professional does this.
Right.
So it's definitely been a pleasure. I'm just going to close out with this. I would be remiss if I didn't give thanks or shout out to Mobile Works Incorporated, which facilitates the SWAPT program. And the SWAPT program is the whole reason why this Pathway to Employment initiative can even exist. So we're very appreciative of the work that they do, that continuous collaboration. And they mentioned about the test. And so we're going to bring this to a close. There are 4 examinations that you have to complete, all right, when you become a part of the Pathway program. And if you know anything about sports, you know that most of the championship games, they require you to win 4 games. Like, we look at basketball, baseball, hockey to that extent. And you have an opportunity where you can come in and you can have a clean sweep. That means you get all 4 out the gate. Now, they identify a gentleman's sweep as you losing one of those games in between and then getting the other 4, immediately after. And you can come in and drop the ball a couple of times. But if you have your mind in place, as these young people have mentioned so well today, if you come in focused and believing that this is something that you can accomplish and get done, you'll knock it out of the park, out of the gate. And you're going to have the support system to do that. It's really up to you taking responsibility. So right now, while your brain is churning, wow, is this for me? Is this something that I can do? If it's churning, that means you need to be moving towards getting this done. And we're hoping that what we've shared today is going to help you do that. So just be encouraged. Always know that you have the option to lead your pathway. And here at Pathway to Employment, we encourage that with everything that you do. So again, if you're between the ages of 16 and 24 and you're looking for another option to get your credentials and move on to the next level of your life, whether that be attending a college or taking up a trade or starting your own business, all these options are here for you to do that. Be reminded, it's $10 for each day in attendance, paid bi-weekly. Free daycare for your dependents for those ages 6 weeks to 4 years old. The bus pass that be provided, the preparation courses, work readiness training, job placement. I mean, we can go on and on about all the stuff that is here for you to do. So we want to just get you in the place to do it. Again, a special thanks to Ms. Ridgway for opening this up, to the director of this program, Ms. Everett, the entire Pathway to Employment staff, to our CEO, Ms. Huff, and on behalf of the board of directors and our president, Mr. Nathaniel Patterson, it has been a pleasure to sit with you all today, and we look forward to future conversations like this. Take care. Peace.